Hello there, my name is Aaron, and this is Camp Peculiar, a channel for visual storytellers who use AI art to support their webcomics, graphic novels, and animated comics. Hey, I've got one coming out on Thursday right here on this channel. It's about a summer camp in space. But I think that's enough of the intro. I'm going to tell you what we were supposed to do today. We were supposed to do a video called A Simple Trick to Get AI Characters with Different Facial Expressions in webcomics in MidJourney. It just rolls right off the tongue, right? Like, I need to work on that title a little bit. But MidJourney went through some updates last night, and they're fixing some things that I need to use in order to make that video. So I thought, while I wait for that to get fixed so I can do that other video, let's play with Stable Diffusion inside of Photoshop in a little game I like to call Unstable Comics. It's going to be a blast. So I think what we'll call this is, what we're going to call it Unstable Confusion, right? It's like Stable Diffusion, but Unstable Diffusion. Do you really need me to explain my own jokes? I don't know. That's what we're calling it. This is round one of Unstable Confusion comics. So we are here in Photoshop, and we have the Stable Diffusion plugin by this guy right here. Christian Cantrell, writer, prototyper, technologist. I'd say that's definitely true. He's the one that wrote this Photoshop plugin that connects with Dream Studio and the Stable Diffusion AI art service. It runs as a plugin inside of Photoshop, works pretty well. It's a little bit different than MidJourney. We'll do some videos on it in the future and how it relates and how it can be used for visual storytelling. But today we're going to play a little game called Unstable Comics, and then we are going to let Stable Diffusion generate a comic just like the panels that you see ahead of here. And then we are going to rearrange these using this art. You can see the words inside of these that were generated aren't real words. So we're going to have to come up with the story. This little test to see if this would even work was of a bald chef. And I only get to pick 3 images. That's the rule. But I love the fact that he's holding his own head at the end. It could be a cake. That could be a nacho. Like, the top of his head is hollowed out and there's like nacho cheese inside of it. There's so many different directions we could have gone with that. But it didn't come up live on this episode, so we can't go back to it. Are you ready? We're going to keep the same prompt here. Illustration of a bald chef. So unlike MidJourney where you put them at the end and use commas, I have found in Stable Diffusion putting the style information at the beginning, style plus, and then sort of the word or what they call the raw prompt in there. And we're going to stick with that format there. Let's see what we get. Okay, we got a comic. Here it is. In this plugin, this Photoshop plugin by Christian Cantrell, the images show up at the bottom here, and then you can do some neat things with them. You can send them to a layer, which I just did there. You can save the seed information to try to generate images that look like it, or you can invoke the Photoshop Save As dialog box and process to export that to something else. All right, so that's the image we have to work with. This looks like his brother. This is definitely the same guy, and he's like, "Are you guys ready to cook? Are you guys ready to cook something? I'm going to think about it. I'm going to get back to you, but this is what it is. In the meantime, as I think about what this comic is going to be, I know I'm going to need a comic strip, so I'm going to lay that out. And I think I'll do 3 panels of a standard Instagram size, so that if we wanted to put this on Instagram, we could break it up into 3 separate photos, each panel being a separate photo, so people could slide through it on Instagram. So I think I'll do that. Then we need to get some panels going on here. So let's just go ahead and go to View, Guides, New Guide Layout. And definitely we're going to need to split this in 3 for sure. That's an Instagram photo a piece right there. And then we're going to need to put some margins on there, I think, we'll go in, we'll go 25 by 25 by 25 by 25. And then we'll give a gutter of 25 as well. We don't need a vertical gutter. We don't need these rows. So we're going to go down to just 1 row. There's our gutters. Everything's looking great. This image is pretty small, and in Stable, you can see it's exactly 512 by 640. And in Stable Diffusion, the more you slide some of these sliders, like the size of the image, and the more the expense or the cost, both in time, power, processing power, and money goes up. So we kept it pretty small, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and try to use Photoshop's neural filter upsizer. So we'll go to Filter, Neural Filter, and we'll turn on the super zoom, and we will give it to a new document instead of putting it on a new layer, and we'll make it 3 times as big. We'll up the noise reduction and sharpen it up just a little bit, and then wait for that to process. And we're going to hit OK, and then we have a much bigger image here that might work out okay. I have to decide what panels I want to sample to tell this story, which I still don't know exactly what it's going to be. But he's like, this is definitely the first panel for sure, for all sorts of reasons. It's clean, it's clear, it's crisp. It's everything you want in a pair and in a comic strip panel. And then I feel like the background color is also conflicting with the skin tone. I'm colorblind, so it's hard for me to tell, but I feel like it is. And so I'm going to see about adjusting that a little bit. Thought it was a good idea to probably put this into paper by Dropbox, free with your Dropbox account, and just first to make sure everything's spelled correctly, and secondly to see what kind of words I can remove. When you're making a comic strip like that, oftentimes when you write the dialogue or the speech or the gag or the bits for the comic, you actually include way too many words that are just not needed, and most of them can be removed, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm not perfect at it or even good at the process. I'm just saying it needs to be done. I think that what's gonna end up happening is I think I'm gonna wrap the comic bubble at the top, frame to frame of the panel, border to border, and so all this background work we did is gonna be nonsense. But maybe we shouldn't do that because it would make me feel bad about the effort that I did. So we'll try to do it without. And I'm gonna lose all that wonderful background work that we all worked so hard on today. Like, we got together, we formed a team, the committee approved it, and now it's not good. Yeah. Look at that background showing through. And then the big punchline. All right, we'll set this up. We're going to set this up together, right? Okay. He's like, today we're cooking my special ingredient soup. He's all smiles, looking great with his Brad Pitt in Fury haircut, which I appreciate. Time to add the special ingredient. And then there you go. Do we even need to say anything in that panel? I feel like we don't. We're not doing it. Like, we're leaving it. It kills two birds with one stone. I get to show my background, and the joke doesn't need it. Other than there's like a lot of stuff going on with his chin here, and I feel like if this was a no brush up challenge, if this were a no brush up challenge, then I wouldn't be allowed to model this panel. And I don't think I am, but I'm doing it anyways because look, I've had an interesting MidJourney day. Okay, like I logged on with a specific idea, and that idea did not work. He shouldn't have a beard though either. He should be having no hair on him. I'm getting all into this comic, and it was just supposed to be an example. I feel like I just need to take the mouth. The mouth is the only part that was kind of messed up. There you go. That's Unstable Comics, where we use Stable Diffusion with the Christian Cantrell Photoshop Stable Diffusion plugin, which we'll do more videos on, to generate a random comic strip, and then we fill in the story. And this is what we did today. We got this chef here. He's looking great. And there's a special ingredient inside the soup, and I'll leave you to figure out what that ingredient is. Hey, thanks for watching this unplanned video while I wait for MidJourney to get all fixed so we can go back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. You like this sort of thing? You thought it was just not fun at all? You don't think my sense of humor is good at all? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Here's what I want you to do. Like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in visual storytelling. That's all we do on this channel is comics, graphic novels, animated comics, parallax comics, everything about using AI art to help you, to help me, tell stories through a visual storytelling medium. That's what I love, and it's what I'm excited to talk about. So like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in learning about that, participating in that, or just hanging out and seeing what we make here. That would be fantastic. Also, if you have a better punchline for this particular comic that was generated, if you have a better setup for this or delivery, a better bit, a better gag, put it in the comments below, because I don't know. I think what I came up with is a little bit, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it, and I'd love to hear what you came up with. Next video is coming out pretty soon. Like I said, just as soon as MidJourney gets back up and running, we'll get to recording it. And I will see all of you then.